What up, bro?
Man, what's up, man? How things going, man? You done climbed them stairs up to the nosebleeds one more time.
And I ain't been in the nosebleeds in a minute. I need it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I need some nosebleeds right now. What's going down? You see what's going on out there? You been
yeah,
paying
man.
attention at least?
I mean, if we talking NFL, it's definitely interesting. Last 2 weeks of the season, up to 12 teams can still make it. Into the playoffs. A lot of guys fighting to get in, including my Pittsburgh Steelers. So that AFC is stacked, man. What you think about what's happening over there?
Well, honestly, you said AFC, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost without KC doing nothing right now. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
then
but they still in.
they still
But
ain't they
yeah,
ain't,
they still in.
they ain't clicking at the right time of the season.
No, they
You know
they
what I'm saying? So
decline.
they want it done because they ain't getting no
Yeah,
home game. But
no. I mean, they big problem, man. They can talk all the shit they want, but Eric Bieniemy being in Washington and not being on that sideline for the first time during this little 7 year
and the
stretch,
offense look like it, don't it? It don't
it
look.
looked like it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even think about that till you just said that. What
No,
about
man, that's big.
So who you think coming out the AFC then?
I don't know who coming out. We don't even know who the number one seed is. I mean, you got um, the Ravens and the Dolphins are playing for that number one seed this weekend, right? In the matchup of the two teams that should take it. And there's, flaws on both of those teams. Shit, the Ravens lost to the Steelers. We got to play them one more time this year, but that's one of their losses. So that means anybody could be, and not talking down on my Steelers, but that means the Ravens are subject to be beat.
Yeah,
But
but
Lamar Jackson,
you can't say that, bro. Yeah, that division alone is just that
it
division.
is. It's tough.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
it's
what
tough.
I'm saying. So and then just off top, I don't know why I keep thinking Pittsburgh is NFC.
Nah, Pittsburgh AFC. AFC North with the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Steelers. Toughest division in football. Some people talk about that. What is that? The division with the Rams and the 49ers, the Seahawks. That's
NFC West.
that's a tough division. But when you start talking about just good old fashioned, hard nosed, smash mouth football, you gotta say that the AFC North is the best division in football.
I actually feel like that's gonna be the Super Bowl. Ravens against the 49ers rematch.
I mean, it's definitely possible when you think about that. We'll talk about the NFC in a minute, but when you look at the landscape of the AFC, if the Ravens can get some rest, keep Lamar healthy, going into a playoff semifinal, you got to look at them, as the possible favorites. But there's a lot of good teams, that's beating up on each other, in the AFC. I mean, when you start from the top, and work your way down, the Bills are still a dangerous team, right? Um, you got, of course, you can't never count out 15 in the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they're always going to be,
What you mean? Burrow gone. He done for the season.
no, I said the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, you said
15,
I'm sorry. You right.
yeah, Mahomes and the Kansas City
I'm
Chiefs.
counting them out, man. That's my squad, but they ain't doing it for me this year.
I mean, the only division that you could really say is weak, maybe, is the AFC South. You got the Texans, the Colts, um,
Titans.
and the Titans and the Jaguars, right? But they're still dangerous, and they got some good wins, inside their division this year. I mean, the Colts look flawed, but when they get out there and play, they can compete. And then being down here in Houston, before C.J. Stroud got hurt, the Texans was looking damn good. So it's going to be interesting. Whichever one of those teams are able to win that division. It don't look like they're going to get two teams in the playoffs, but whoever comes out of there going to be a tough out. Jacksonville's chances really depend on if Trevor Lawrence is going to be healthy with that shoulder sprain. But man, it's the AFC. Like I said, man, it is stacked. Um, you still got what 7 teams that are around 8 and 7, somewhere 7 and 7. You know, it's gonna be interesting. You know,
You got Houston almost at least. You got them at least thinking about the playoffs.
they still have a chance. You know what I'm saying? They still got a chance. It depends on how these last two
By your
games go.
logic, everybody got a chance.
This is what in that AFC because they all have they again they've all beat up on each other. Some teams have snuck some wins in there that you know. I mean,
How did the AFC become that type of division, though? You remember they used to be the
yeah.
laughing.
I mean, but when you start talking about championships, you can't really say they the laughing stock. When you got the
Not
Patriots and
lately, but I'm talking about back just when we was coming up. It was
yeah,
always NFC. NFC was known for that smash mouth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, if we since we talked about the NFC, you only really got two teams in the NFC that can even look like right now they can make some noise. You got the 49ers, right? And you got the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the Cowboys fans, you can't tell them that they out of it. But
They ain't never in it.
yeah,
Okay,
I mean, they haven't beat anybody. And then Miami beat them. They played Miami well, but you know what I'm saying? I just don't see the Cowboys as legit contenders. But they could be. They got a
I don't
decent
even
running
know.
game.
Who would be the fourth team out the NFC?
With a legit chance.
I'm trying to think.
I mean,
Ain't-
the Rams are decent.
No. I'm talking about.
The Detroit Lions. The
Okay.
Detroit Lions, you know what I'm saying? The Lions are a solid team, and they got a big game tonight. So we'll see if they can beat the Cowboys. If they go in there and beat the Cowboys, you know, I guess they become a legitimate contender too. We love their coach. We always talking about him,
Yeah, but
Dan Campbell.
you think they going in Jerry's world, right?
Yeah, it would
Uh,
be a big win for them if they could pull it off.
do they need it? I don't think.
They don't need it to get it because they're going to win their division.
Yeah,
They
they
won the
clinched. They
division
won
last.
the division last weekend.
Yeah, so they're in the playoffs regardless. But this is the type of game that they need to be the contender.
I got you. I got you. What about So who you got going to the Super Bowl?
I
From what
mean,
you think, I know what our picks was at the beginning of the season. What I'm talking about now.
yeah, because what did we say? Eagles and you said Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah, I said a rematch.
Yeah, and I said Eagles and somebody. I don't remember, but right now,
I think you said Bengals.
no, I would have never said the Bengals ever. You know what I'm saying? Ever. You know what I'm saying?
Who you say there, bro?
I might have said the Steelers,
You could have. I promise you. Knowing you, you might have said the Steelers.
but if we get Russell Wilson next year, but that's a whole nother segment.
Ooh.
If we could
It's
get
possible.
Russell Wilson to come in and play some decent football for a year, with that defense that we got, and keep everybody healthy. The Steelers could be dangerous next year with a quarterback. But this year, I gotta say, and as much as it severs my soul to even put the words on my lips, but as a legitimate commentator, I have to say probably Baltimore and what the two best teams look like is Baltimore and the 49ers. So I can see a Baltimore 49ers run back. But if the Eagles can get it together, they just not playing well right now. Um, or we could see Baltimore Lions. That would be an interesting Super Bowl, depending on if the Lions can win these last two games. But
I know y'all rivalries, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, but
uh,
that's that rivalry like that. Like you can't. It's hard to say them over
I
the rest.
hate the rat. I hate the Ratbirds. That's all
For
I'm saying.
real,
I hate the Ratbirds.
good as them teams be
I don't.
was.
I don't like purple. I don't like nothing related to
What about Ray Lewis?
fuck Ray Lewis too.
Ed Reed.
That nigga Ray Lewis lucky he wasn't in jail.
What about Ed Reed?
I mean, Ed Reed he's great. You gotta respect him, but he wore the wrong uniform
Okay, for you.
for me.
Okay. No, hey, I can't argue with that. So basically, they tell me you don't like the Lakers neither. Then
I mean, I've never been a Lakers fan, but I'm not necessarily a Lakers hater. You know,
I don't
there's
know.
some teams,
You don't like
there's some
purple?
teams, there's some teams in the NBA that I completely despise, but the Lakers ain't one of them. But when they
Golden
got
State?
LeBron, that made me dislike them a whole lot.
Who you despise?
Oh man, I mean, the Chicago Bulls, hate them
Oh,
with a passion.
yeah.
Can't stand them. Um, the red and black makes my stomach hurt. You know, talk of Michael Jordan gives me a headache. Um, the most overrated Scottie Pippen, of course, is always a subject of my ire. So, you know,
What
definitely,
about
I hate the Bulls and the Ravens with the same disdain.
damn. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you hated the Ravens like that.
Yes,
You disliked them, but I didn't know you hated them like that.
yes, I hate them.
What
But
about what about your boys though? The Pacers, man. What they gonna do, man?
we switching gears, man. I mean, we made it to the inaugural play-in championship, so you know that was pretty cool. We came out, you know, swinging, understanding the urgency would let you know the team, you know, they could have a playoff mind state. But man, at the end of the day, if we're not going to play any defense,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know, it's going to be all for nothing. You know, we're the highest scoring. The Pacers are the highest scoring team in the NBA right now. And so
Okay.
when you start talking about offense, you got to put them in that category. Tyrese Halliburton has shown he's elite. He's taken a major step this year in terms of being not just a star, but a superstar. And man, it makes me wonder why Sacramento couldn't, you know, keep both of those guys. You got De'Aaron Fox and you got Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe they couldn't flourish around each other, but man, you got two legitimate superstars that you had on your roster. But I thank them for trading them, and you know we're gonna definitely do what's best with Mr. Halliburton because he loves Indiana and Indiana loves him.
I see that, but when you said you don't know why Sacramento couldn't use him, I was gonna say, how did he fall so far in the draft? Like, what? Who is the talent managers?
I mean, but then again, you're right. We talk about it all the time, and who running these damn teams. But you know, when you got what I think he went 15. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily bad. And then as a GM, you say, well, I got two great young point guards. You don't know which one is going to be greater. You look at Fox and say maybe he's going to be greater. Then let's use our other pretty good point guard to get it big. And they got some bonus out the deal, who's a all star in his own right. I mean, so I guess that trade we talk about it all the time. I say a trade where both teams get something good out of it. If that's the case, then it's one of the greatest trades in
You
NBA history because both teams,
you
huh?
pick on Sacramento. I ain't talking about Sacramento. I'm talking about these other teams who could. The Knicks could have used him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They picked that one dude from France. Come on, man.
yeah. For what was his name? But that's New York.
He was in
New
the
York.
league no more.
Yeah, New York. You know they're not great at drafting, man. You know it's interesting to me.
Have you
You
been
know,
able to catch that trade?
yeah, that's what I was going. I was finna switch gears to that, but you know, New York seems to do better. You know, in trades, they can't really get anybody great to come in free agency. I don't know why. When you got the New York market, but you know, to bring in OG Anunoby, but then you're giving up a lot. To give up RJ Beard and say he's not going to be great, and maybe he'll be better than Canada. I can see that, but to give up Emmanuel 18 points, 3 assists off the bench, I mean that's tough. And I think he's averaging 1 or 2 steals also. I mean, definitely was a solid bench player. That I'm sure Toronto and that GM over there, who makes the best out of players, I think he's gonna really benefit being in Toronto.
Um, Gilbert Arenas, he said it the best the other day, and I had never heard nobody say it this way, but he said they're drafting for potential. They're getting 18, 19-year-old, 19, 20-year-old kids. And if they don't pan out in the first 4 or 5 years, they trade them. But they didn't even reach their peak, which is 25 to 27. So when they got to reach their peak, they trade them because they thought they were supposed to grow in those few years. And they basically he like they're still kids.
when I hear Gil talk, two things come to mind. Like I wish he had that wisdom, not to make the choices he made in the league.
You
Uh,
say that though, right? I don't know if
yeah,
you probably didn't see the video I seen, but
I, I, I
he
checked
was
it out. I mean,
okay.
he's very. That's what I was. My point is, he's very knowledgeable.
Not
And
even that part. Did you hear him explain when they asked him why, if he had a chance to do it again, would he do it again? He said, yeah, he would have did the same thing.
yes, yeah,
Because, but that was straight, that was spot on. He was like, I would have never been able to reach that height of being that dude if I didn't have that mindset. And I was like, wow, that was deep.
well, it's deep because he still came out with millions in his pocket, and he's been able to raise his kids with that money and make sure their life is good. But
But even before that, remember, he was nobody.
man, the Hibachi, no, he was nobody for maybe a year, but
But
you
I'm
don't
talking
get the
about
name like that.
money wise. He wasn't
Yeah,
supposed. They changed the rules for him because he got that money. He wasn't supposed to get no money.
man, the Hibachi was real. That's all I'm
I
gonna
agree. I
say.
agree. But I'm just saying his mindset. They asked him, "Would he do that?" And it made sense because, like me and you, I don't care whatever the sport is, whatever it is, we just competitive. That's just what we
Right.
is.
Don't get out and compete.
But to hear him say that way, like it didn't matter, man. Whatever it is, I'm in. What's up?
Right.
You go do this? Okay, I'm there. What's up? And when he said it that way, I was like, damn. I guess I because when it first happened, you heard the stories. You like, he got to be a fool. But like hearing it from his side, he like, man, they challenged me. What was I supposed to do? Back down? I'm that
I
man.
mean, and then old boy ended up being a real killer. So he might he might have wanted to. Old boy murdered somebody. The dude the other dude that he brought the gun for.
Creighton.
Yeah, that
He
nigga's
did
in
for
prison.
real?
He's in prison for murder, man.
No, bro. I didn't
Yes,
know that.
yes,
Did you hear?
right now.
Did you hear him tell you how to? He said it wasn't even his fight.
It was over some money, right? Of some bet or some
He
shit.
didn't have nothing to do with it. He said he was just being an asshole, and they was gambling on the plane. Dude was losing his money, and he came up and was like, "Man, talking shit." And dude, instead of him fighting him, he was mad at him because he was instigating on the side. And he was like, "Man, you ain't gonna do." He said, "I'll bring my gun." He said, "Bring your guns. I got guns too." That's how he got involved in it. It had nothing to do with him.
Well, like I said, he might have been talking to the wrong motherfucker. So uh, thank God that situation didn't become something bigger than.
Especially like you said, the way he out here imparting, because to me, he's imparting some straight up knowledge.
He
If you
dropping
really listen
jewels,
to him,
man.
he loud and obnoxious, but he be on one.
Yeah, I mean everything I hear him say about the league, about working, about
He be spot on.
kids, he seems to be spot on. And then his kids is ballers, so he's been able to convey that knowledge and push it down, which is not something that's readily available in the league. So a lot of guys have been great, but they haven't been able to get their kids to that position, even with the NBA DNA.
But LeBron and AD, man, that's why I asked you about them Lakers earlier. Talk to me.
Uh, I mean, looking way better than I thought they would. I mean, you thought LeBron was on his way out the door, which every day he probably is, but
I don't see
he's
how right now he hooping
yeah,
he can't
and
go every day like he used to, but when he on that court, he whooping some ass.
he's the oldest player in the league, man. But again, watching them on Christmas, when they got served up by Boston, he just doesn't have the legs to compete with the stars like he used to. AD went out there and dropped 40, and Boston still beat them easily. It wasn't even a game.
AD
You know,
sorry, bro. He not the AD that I used to like.
I mean, but that's hard to say. There's a garbage 40 and 14, especially against the Boston
It's not
Celtics.
it's
You can't say it's garbage, man.
hold on,
40
hold
and
on, hold on.
14.
Let me get my thought out. It's not helping you win nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
garbage.
because he's
That's
getting the
garbage,
shot.
bro. Huh?
He getting the shots, and he taking advantage of the shots.
I
We
get
talk
that.
about it
But
all the time.
I'm talking about I guess in sports when you're talking competition, kill or be killed. And
Yeah,
that might not be the right words, but I'm saying when you dominate that 40 and 14 don't feel dominant. It feel like He got 40, but he didn't dominate. When you dominate somebody with a 40, they know it. They like, oh, he just whooped me. AD's 40 be like, okay, he got 40.
I mean, Porzingis had what 24 and 8 or something like that, and you could argue that it was more impactful.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So how is that not a such thing as a garbage 40 and 14? Because he
I
just showed
mean,
it.
nah, it's still 40 and 14.
The stats
Shit.
is the stats, bro, but we talking impact.
And that's what I'm saying about the first. Let me take a shot at the play-in. That's what I'm saying about the play-in, and that's what I'm saying about the Lakers and the Pacers. Both of those teams made it to the championship or the play-in, and I think it's an exciting wrinkle that's gonna,
I like that.
grow.
I like
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna grow in time. But I think that's what makes the play-in, I think, potentially cool because a lot of teams start off hot, and you're gonna have some teams win this play-in championship that might not even make the playoffs because even with the play-in, there's a chance that this Lakers with we got Mr. Glass and AD, and if he gets hurt and out miss any extended period of time, I can see the Lakers slipping down to 13, 14, 12, and missing the play-in this season, and they won this in season tournament. So
But
uh,
no, let me. From seeing what I saw, how good the basketball was that early in the season, I would like to see the NBA add a second one in right after that one, up to the All Star game. So like it's kind of almost like how we coach, the kids. So every weekend when we play in a tournament, so that's tournament first play in Christmas. They play. I mean that early December, they played that first one. Boom, started right back up, going to All Star break with another one. Right, All Star break will be the championship game. Now we got the finals, so that'll keep the basketball interesting all season. Because right now it's already it's not the same. Like when I'm looking at the
or,
game, I'm still
or,
falling asleep on these games now.
or maybe they expanded, right? It was only four play-in games, and then into the tournament. Maybe they do 8 play-in games, and then go into the tournament like you said, right at All Star, and then make
I'm
that
saying
part of the
extend it longer. Right,
Mhm.
right. All Star game, they go back to regular. So now you already gave them something to play for, right? So after All Star break, you getting ready to go into the real thing. So now everybody's still going.
I was just going to say because that's when the NBA, that's when it picks up. You see those great teams start to polish their game
Right.
and that push toward the end of the season. But yeah, I enjoyed the play-in.
I did too.
I enjoy the city jerseys and the switch and
The floors,
the changing court. Yeah, I think all that
like
was
all that.
exciting. Yeah, I think it was an exciting wrinkle to add to bring in the young hoopers. Uh,
Do you agree though that the basketball has fell off since the playing, or is it just me?
I mean, I sat down on Christmas and watched the whole day of basketball, right? And I know it was the Christmas Day game, but I enjoyed all the games. I mean, you had,
I enjoyed the games, but
yeah,
I
Golden
can't.
State and Denver was a good game.
No, bro.
You
I
had the
can't. I
two.
can't say I watched basketball all day because I was in the chat. I was sitting. I was trying to fight to get to the, and I lost, but it was just a lot. I was watching football because of my fantasy, and it.
Yeah,
So I didn't
yeah,
see all the games. So I agree. If it was good games, it was good games.
yeah. It was good games on that day. Luke, the Don dropped 50. You know what I'm saying on Phoenix, man. What's going on with the Phoenix Suns? I told you about the
You've
Phoenix
been,
Suns.
but
Well,
you've
you
been telling
know,
me about KD since
man.
OKC. You was
Bro,
hurt when he went to Golden State. You was like, oh, he ain't that dude.
no, he ain't. You ain't, and you
Been
can't
saying
be.
that.
And then when he recruited James Harden to come to Brooklyn, and then all of a sudden, they can't play together. They can't stay healthy. I mean, when you look at these superstar teams, man, all I see is a bunch of prima donnas, and there's only one basketball. And sometimes it's addition by subtraction. You know, um,
Who want to do the dirty work?
and I hate to relate it to AAU basketball because it's definitely not the same, but when you get these, some of these AAU teams with all of these great players on them, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some of them learn how to play with other great players and learn how to impact the game in other ways. And some of them disappear, right? And they go find another team to play on. you know. And so you gotta, understand that there's only one basketball. And back to being basketball traditionalists, there are five unique positions, which is probably the reason why Sacramento traded Sabonis to bring this whole conversation full circle. Because you need, you know, a true point. You need a scoring guard, right? You need a small forward that's going to slash, be able to stretch the floor.
One
And
that's gonna play some D for the wing
yeah,
players. You're right.
yeah,
You
and
smash
and
crash the boards hard.
and so when you put a team together like a Bradley Beal and a Devin Booker and a Kevin Durant, and you ask them, you know, to uh, to change the role that they've normally played, right? It's not as easy as say that. Who's going to facilitate? The other day, uh, the Phoenix Suns came to Houston, and played the Rockets. Durant had 16 assists. That's the first time I ever seen him adjust his game to anything. It was a career high 16 assists, but he was looking to facilitate. And so, if he's going to become a facilitator, and then Devin Booker's going to be scored, because what they try to do is say, Devin Booker, now you're the point guard. We're going to trade Chris Paul, and now you're the point guard, which is just outrageously silly to me, because he's one of the greatest scorers in the game right now. So now
But
you
essentially, it's like what you're saying when you say Bill, Durant, Booker. Like you said, the tradition is basketball. Each position has a unique skill set. You're essentially saying when you get all three of them, you're asking one of them to change their skill set, their mindset, right?
right,
And
right,
they're not.
right, and what they've traditionally done, right, to get to the top. Like when you talk about, let me give you an example of that. Patrick Beverly, right, led the state of Illinois in scoring. He averaged 37 points a game or some shit like that.
Right.
Uh, his senior year in high school, he gets to the NBA. That's not going to keep him in the game, right? And
Right.
so he had to remarket himself, change himself, from an offensive shoot first type of player to a defensive dog in order to get them checks that he wanted to get, in the NBA.
And he's
But
been in the league for a while now too.
right, so
Every team got a spot for him.
I mean, he's shit. He in Phoenix now, right? Or he's somewhere. I saw
76.
76 is right, and he's going to always have a place, because he's turned himself into that. So I said that to say it could be done, but what incentive does a Kevin Durant or a Bradley Beal
Or
or
Booker have to do that.
Booker have to do
So my point is, them GMs we always talking about. Why would you even do that?
it? Yeah, I mean, again, you got a rich person saying, I'm willing to spend, right? I'm willing to spend whatever it takes to make this team a winner. And then you have nobody with the foresight or the balls to tell them, no, that's not what you want to do.
I'm gonna here's a question I got for you. It's a question, but it's a statement at the same time. What's happening to the true point guards?
I mean, the way we train it, right, and the way things are working nowadays, you know, these true point guards are learning how to score because they're learning how to get themselves in position. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is a true point guard. He's averaging damn near 13, 14 assists a game,
That's one.
but but he also, has a skill set. He can put it in the basket. So we're seeing that scoring guard. I mean, remember that scoring point guard that guy has, they played themselves out the league for a minute. And what those scoring point guards have realized is that they have to facilitate the game also.
I was just getting ready to say that.
Mhm.
When you say I don't mind you scoring as a point guard, but the game starts and ends with you.
Yeah.
You're controlling the game, and a lot of these scoring point guards, they don't know how to control a game.
I mean,
The guy in Atlanta, what's his name? Trey
Trey
Young.
Young. Yeah.
Trey Young. He score his ass off, but you, by the time you ready to kick the ball to these other guys, you done went 3 quarters shooting all the balls, and you go throw me the ball, and I ain't had a shot. And you ain't even let
Yeah.
me get loose.
Yeah. And which is disappointing with him in his case because he averaged 10 assists in college. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
when you say
he
10
know how to
assists,
facilitate the game.
I guess what I'm saying is they can still have the assist, but assist doesn't equate to running the show of your team.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you know you can get a bucket at any time, that's irrelevant. If the Florida game is they only up 3, you don't need to be shooting. You need to get somebody else involved because in the fourth quarter, when you go need them, you want them to be ready.
Man, I got my two favorite players right now in the NBA understand that at such a high level. Like
Halliburton,
Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards. Like Edwards will light your ass up, but if you watch him play,
he get
and
a ball
again,
up to me. I hear
he'll
you.
get that ball up. He
Too
will
much.
give it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe too much, but he will definitely give it up to try to get Cat going because
Right.
he understands that he can't do it alone, right? And so he needs Cat to get going, and so he'll get that ball up to him.
But
Another
he's
one,
not a point guard.
no, he's not.
So that's a scorer who understand, like you said, at the end of the game. I need you to be going but a point guard would know how to feed both of them. Okay,
Yeah,
you missing a couple. Let me go this way. Let me hit you a few times. See what you got. Okay, you got something going. I'm gonna keep feeding you. Keep feeding you. You ready? All right, here we go. Boom. They don't think
yeah.
like that no more. Let me see how I can get mine. How I can get. Come on, man. But now we down 20.
Man, one thing that I try to teach my young guards, especially the ones that can put it in the basket, is that when you pass the ball, you come more open, right? You passing the ball makes you more of a threat because now they can't key on you, right? They know you ain't gonna just be a dribble 5% eventually, right? When you passing the ball and moving and get other people involved in the game, it makes you more open. Now that pass fake, that next time they gonna jump with the pass fake, and you're gonna be able to get to the rack or be able to get your shot off even more easier. And that's what you watch Tyrese Halliburton play. He gets a lot of easy baskets. You know why? When he penetrates, everybody looks for their man. They're looking to go defend their man because they know Tyrese Halliburton will drop a dime on them, and now they getting scored on, and everybody trying to make their money, right? And all these things are tracked, right? I'm telling you, watch it. When he goes into the lane, everybody starts backing up toward their man, and
But
he goes and get a layup.
here go the statement. Your statement is spot on true, but you're not finished. You're not completing it. You got to
Okay?
know who to pass it to and when.
Yeah,
Not just
yeah,
pass the ball, because that's what a lot of them is doing. They're just passing it to get it out their hand. But if you know he can't dribble, he's not. He shouldn't be your pass.
yeah. Know your personnel, KYP. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the first thing I teach
first
every
thing.
point
That's what I'm
guard. Yeah, every point guard I've ever coached, that's the first thing that I teach them. Well, the first thing we got to have a conversation about, right? You know, who look where you practicing with them. Who can score from where? Who can't do what? Like, you know, having a big. I got a big 6'1", 12-year-old, uh, and you giving him the ball, doing a press and running away from him. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you leave your 6'1" center, to bring the ball up? Now he's been coached well now, and he'll back you down and go 2 dribbles left, 2 dribbles right, keep you behind him with his strength. But no, you don't want to put him in that situation.
Right, right. It's just I don't know, man. I'm watching the game kind of like, especially from the AU level. I just see a bunch of kids it's almost like a bunch. It's five eyes and no we.
Blame it on the coaches, blame it on the parents, blame it on the trainers. And here's why I say it, like, and I'm as guilty of it as anybody. When I pay my money and take my son to a trainer, even though I'm a coach and a trainer, right? Am I telling him to work with him on defense? No, you know what I'm saying? You sending him there to get his
Okay, but you
offensive
coach them,
game.
though, right? Do you coach them
Yeah,
on defense?
yeah, oh yeah, I definitely coach him
Do
up
you
on
let them?
defense.
Are you hard on them on defense?
Oh man, again, my son understands that the quickest way to come sit next to daddy is not being out there playing defense. You know what I'm saying? So, and he knows that about my coaching style. So he stays on the floor a little bit longer than most players because he's going to give you 100% on the defensive end. He's going to dive for loose
But
balls.
you train him. You take
Mhm.
him to a trainer to learn offense.
So my point is, talking to a high school coach for one of the best programs in Houston. I went to a coaching clinic, but he and I were just sitting down discussing, and he was like, "Shit, all my players have trainers." My point is, everybody's kid is going there working on offense, right? And so you know, everybody wants to score. Everybody wants to be that guy without having knowledge of the game, without understanding that. And that's why, like, on the video game now, they had this thing, right, where points is 1 point, rebounds is 1 point, assists is 1 point. And then they give you a total at the end of the game and say, did you play better than a certain guy? To me, that's a more accurate um, depiction of what basketball is, because your assist is just as important as a score. Your rebound is just as important as a score. Your steal is just as important as a score. Your block shot is just as important as a score. Your taking a charge is just as important as a score. You running the floor and spacing the floor so somebody else can get to the basket is just as important as a score. And
You
when
you 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 on the bench cheering on your teammates
oh
is
yeah,
just
oh
as important
absolutely,
as a score.
absolutely.
Because if you hyping me up, when I'm on the bench, I'm hyping you up.
I mean, one of the reasons why I was offered a football scholarship that I didn't take, according to my coach, is because they came to see us play, and it was a game that I missed. I hurt my hand or something, but from what I was told, is they liked how I was on the bench. You know what I'm saying? I'm cheering guys up. I'm coaching. I'm going crazy on the sideline on a team that was 2-6 or some shit like that.
Right.
But we had a really good running back that some people were looking at, and they coming to see them, and they see this guy on the bench. They look around, look, oh wait a minute, he got some stats. Wait a minute, this kid's averaging 6 or 7 tackles a game. Wait a
Right.
minute, he's getting a sack a game type shit.
Why he ain't playing?
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, no, I agree with that 100%, man. You got to be in tune with your
But like you
teammates.
said, as coaches, we got to teach that.
Yeah,
Because even the way you just said it, you got the perfect phrasing. Actually, if I have my pen and pencil, I need to write that down because it's just as important as a score. Because if one person can score and nobody else doing nothing, we go lose by 50. And if you ain't never lost by 50, bro, that's tough. Oh
right.
my goodness, I've been a part of that, and that ain't. Mm.
Man, I've been able to, I don't even want to get into. We'll get into it in a minute. I don't know if we're gonna have time for this show, but you know, watching Nelly play, like I've been a part of some great basketball players' development, right?
I have to.
Yeah,
I have to. Right.
yeah. Johnny O. Davis at FAU, Eugene German's at China, blah, whatever the hell. But I'm looking at these younger kids play right now, right? And I had a really good young player. I'm not gonna, go into name it, but we were a very one-sided team. He was able to go get a basket when he wanted to, pretty much. But what it did was it allowed other teams to key on him. And good when I ran into good coaches, again, they sized him up. Oh, he can't go left. They double teamed on the right side, pushed him to the left, forced a lot of turnovers. Now the game is over because, and then the other players I got used to sitting up watching them score and maybe run down and try to get a rebound and just playing defense. You know what I'm saying? For him to get the ball right, and you become an easily beaten team. When somebody knows basketball, and like I look at it and it translates over time and up and through time. LaMelo Ball is a great basketball player, right? But when when you can get off and can't nobody else get off. You just called it. Trey Young
Oh
get a shot
wow!
anytime he want it.
I didn't even think
Right?
about Lamelo Ball. You right.
I mean, these are guys who can go get a basket whenever they feel like it. But
Right.
you know, can they put themselves and others in position to be successful? Is what
Zach
we're
LaVine.
seeing. Man, exactly. Oh, my
Bunch of
God.
them. Yeah, yeah. When you,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a bunch of them out there. And you just like, dude, you got game, but when it comes to winning basketball, control the game.
yeah,
When I need to get a bucket or a couple buckets in a row, I'll go get those. But when I don't, y'all eat, man. Y'all bring us on and keep me close enough to the end of the game where I can get it in.
yeah.
Now,
And being happy about it, right? And being happy about it. Then I was watching a clip of my kid, playing, he goes to get a layup. And I got a new kid, I'm coaching him this year, really good point guard. The boy can score. And he celebrates when he scores. But one thing I noticed, my son scored, he went just as crazy. He's jumping up and down and banging on his chest like
Team
he
play.
had just got the basket, right?
Right.
It endeared me to him even more, right? Because he's not just doing that to showboat and get himself off, but he's banging on his chest and beating on his chest for his teammates, and that's something that I can dig.
Right. That's gonna help the rest of your team get involved.
It's gonna help everybody get involved,
Right. Right.
and it gets everybody hyped for the play. And I'm gonna tell you, man, don't that elusive national ranking. I might have it this year with this fifth grade team. We're 10-1 right now.
For real?
We're
Why you say it's elusive, man? You've been coaching 20 seconds. Get out
man,
of here.
with
That's
20
elusive.
seconds,
You
man.
ain't been in the game a hot man. Whatever, man.
4 5 years, man. But
That's
anyway,
20.
but my point is, um, when you got good kids playing together and who understand that they're playing for one another, you know, there's a chance to be really good, and we got a chance to be really good.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Go get in them good tournaments now.
We'll
What's
see.
your shout out for this week, man?
Man, again, we never got to the NFC, but I guess that's a topic for another day.
That's
Uh,
another.
yeah, but man, my shout out for the nosebleeds today, man. Just to everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Love on your family. Dads be dads. You know what I'm saying? We got to be a little less selfish and understand, that we got to do whatever we can to keep our families intact. You know.
Okay, well, my shout out is, man, nosebleeders work with us, man. We work and we in transition, trying to get everything right, get back going, and we'll get it right where we can really sit down and have some mean
Be,
conversation.
be more consistent with the conversation.